Peace, peace, peace. It's your boy Amon. I'm doing a test right now to see which way I need to swerve this camera. How we looking, bro?
I'm dialing you up now.
He's dialing me up. Call me.
You gotta relax.
You down here in the basement edition right now. I got a lot of grandioso things going upstairs. Okay, Mel, is it cool this way, or should I turn it the other way around? This is what we're trying to figure out right now. Which way should I hold the phone? Which way? Which way should you go? Blue pill or the red pill? Like so? That's better? That way sucks.
Okay. I'm an extreme novice when it comes to live streaming. Are you streaming from your account or
the Let's Build?
The Let's Build account.
I mean, not Let's Build, Universal Cafe.
Universal Cafe.
Alright, I got it. Mel told me.
Mel
Thank you,
told
Mel.
you? Hold on, let me see if I can.
3 brown thumbs up to you. Peace, everybody. Once again, it's your boy Amon. Welcome to the Let's Build Basement Edition, Beginner Chakra. And as usual, we start just with the small personal group of who we are and what we do. And you guys out there tune in. Everybody else will get here when they can.
It would be best if you go to the live
so
stream
let me
and share it. That's what I did last time. Yeah. To actually
take y'all around just a little bit. Let me switch this camera around so you can see what's going on, and I can do more directing.
Where's he going?
Ooh.
This page?
On the Universal
Cafe page.
Yeah.
We're down here working in the basement this time. A little different scenery, different setting. All we need is a crystal ball. It'll be perfect. And Miss Pam is up in here. I ain't gonna put you on blast, Miss Pam.
So just share it, right?
Yeah, just go to the live stream and press share on your page. And I want to say, yeah, cool.
We ready to rock?
All right, cool. So I can start when I wanna.
Yep.
Perfect. So it's a quaint environment, but I don't have a microphone today, so yeah, you'll hear a little better acoustics as far as sonics and speaking directly to you. Greetings all, thank you for being here. We have a quaint audience here, but of course, I feel that, or we feel that it's necessary for us to start on time and allow those still trickling in to come at their own time, so we can get into detail and this won't carry out and stretch so late. So today's subject matter we're speaking about is chakras, and the nature of the chakra system has been somewhat of a very popular subject matter when it comes to newly awakened souls and the nature of our expansion and present, because there is a sense of functionality energetically when it comes to the chakra system and the identification of certain aspects of our energy. I don't want to get too intricate with all of these things, because once again, we're dealing with very, very complex energetic aspects of our being. They're very complex. However, we can place labels, there's colors, there's cool geometric designs, Vedic geometry designs and symbols that go with these aspects and these energies. However, once again, at the foundation of all of this is a infinitely intelligent functionality, infinite intelligent function that is natural And beyond analysis and all the big words and explanations and things that go with attempting to understand the nature of your energetic presence. So, if you didn't know, that was my disclaimer statement. I'm going to be touching these subjects from a very broad sense and recognizing the nature of our presence. However, I do have a guideline that a beautiful friend, family member, very close friend of mine, my man Tony, hooked us up with these outlines, which are pretty much commonly available on any Google search. You'll get variances and descriptions when you do search them, but for the most part, we'll be using these very lightly to allow ourselves to express and communicate a little bit more in depth and more energetically versus me going over a long list of pretty words and things of this nature. So we're just going to talk, we're going to have a conversation. Yeah? In the bag.
Name more light.
Yeah. So.
Peace, Carrie.
Yeah.
Love is in the air.
Love is in the air. Hey, what's going on, okay? How you feeling?
Fine.
Yeah, perfect. Good stuff. Yeah, he's filming. He's just live stream.
Also, Entschuldigung, eigentlich.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
These headsets. Oh, my black bag.
Black bag.
Should be over there.
All right. So are we ready? Everybody ready? Got some online traffic.
I see hearts and thumbs.
Hearts and thumbs.
Got about
and
9
hello,
people.
Hello.
What's up, Robert?
Greetings.
Robert is in the house.
Greetings, Rob. Thanks for being here.
Let me flip this around real quick. Disclaimer. I am holding my phone, so if it's moving all over the place, it is what it is. Yes.
Cool. The light. The light.
I say the German. The light.
The light. How is...
No. Turn it down. Yeah.
Turn it down. There we go. Ooh. Does that work better?
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's what's up. So, let's get started. Normally, we had it set up where we were going to do some elaborate scenarios and some acting and things of that nature for the interactive experience for the purpose of kind of integrating and understanding a little bit deeper the nature of what we're talking about today. Basically, in a sense. But being that we have a quaint audience, we're going to work around it, and we'll basically just do a small seminar, if you will, and then we'll do a discussion, and then we'll answer questions if there's any floating around, and want to go into detail about what we're talking about today. All right? So I'll try to be very brief with what I'm expressing. I'll probably scratch the surface on a lot of these things because there's a lot to deal with here. So let's get started. The first chakra we're dealing with is the root chakra. And this is foundation to the chakra system in itself. It's not the foundation, but it's foundational to a healthy sense of being and being open to allowing the energies to flow through you. Yeah? Root chakra starts somewhere at the bottom of the spine, like probably like right there by your butt, by your buttocks, right at the bottom. And it has to do with and is associated with safety, security, stability, grounding, survival, like basic needs like food and shelter and physicality, being supported, and basically the foundation of our physical life here on earth. This is what it's associated with. Now, when I say association, I'm talking about you being comfortable, like job security, financial security, things like exercise, trust that your needs are met, and things like being independent, being flexible to changes and new beginnings, stuff like this. This is all here in your root chakra, and it deals with that. And when you actually are comfortable with this kind of stuff in your life, this is a very healthy sense of being within your root chakra. Now, imbalances, there are imbalanced aspects of the root chakra which have to deal with blockages or distortions of the root chakra. And this comes in when you're dealing with like greed, like obsession with money and attempting to take and force a sense of security upon yourself based in fear, anger, poverty, feeling unsafe, a lack of support in your family and friends, isolation from people, materialism, when you feel secluded. All these have to do with a blockage in your root chakra. So that's the nature of the bottom. So let's move up one. We're dealing with 7. That's the first one. 1 out of 7. We're moving up. Moving all the way up the chain. The second, sacral chakra. That's your orange chakra. And this is somewhere around your reproductive organs. The sacral chakra is associated with creativity, sexuality, passion, intimacy, connection, relationships, feelings, emotions, changes, empathy, and pleasure. This chakra has to do with a sense of zest for life, relationships, harmonious relationships, being open to adventure when relating to other people, health, sexual expression, sensuality, energetic and motivating in nature, enjoying continuity, receiving pleasure, trusting your intuition. Blockages have to do with the sacral chakra, have to do with addiction and codependent relationships, and having to need everyone to feel happy, needing things. These are blockages: emotional outbursts, anger, instability, assuming that you feel numb, you don't feel nothing because of past hurt in situations like this, feeling stuck, confusion, sexual blockages, a lack of creativity and initiative. Like all of these are blocked. Laziness and sluggishness, all of these have to do with a distortion or blockage within the orange chakra. That's your sacral chakra. Keep on moving up. The next one, the solar plexus, right here, like right here above your stomach, like between the bottom of your sternum and your stomach. It's an infield right here. Now, there's feelings associated with blockages within these chakras. This one is, I want to say, very potent as far as energy is concerned, because it's one of the feelings that people get quite often. Is even a common term amongst humanity, when we speak about like having a knot in your stomach, like when you feel butterflies or a knot in your stomach. This is happening with the solar plexus right here. And a lot of times when you experience situations and you go through life, you feel the activation or blockage or inactivation of this chakra quite distinctly because of the nerve endings in this area of the body. Solar plexus is associated with personal power, will, intent, intelligence, wisdom, self-image, purpose, and identity. A clear aspect of these energies being able to flow is your sense of integrity, assertiveness, positive energy, and going with the flow, self-direction, spontaneity. How do I explain this? Like success in business and relationships, a sense of purpose, leadership skills, personal affairs. These are all, I mean, if you pay attention a little bit, these are like all interactive aspects of our interactions within the outer reality. When we connect with people, a job, our work, and talking to people, our integrity, our assertiveness, how we communicating, like these are all interactive aspects of our sense of being here in the physical plane. Blockages when it comes to this that you can feel and sense is when you're self-centered, when you're arrogant, when you criticize the ideas and desires of yourself and others, fear of failure, feeling invisible or worthless, right? Manipulation, use of power, a lack of purpose and ambition, weak intentions. Like all of these things have to do with blockages here. And a lot of times you can feel these blockages just based off of the nature of your communications, your interactions, the opinions of others, weak intentions. And one example would be attention seeking, looking to get attention. Follow me, please. Come check out my page. Come listen to my music. This. Like when you're, and I like to use this term, when you're thirsty. It's a slang term, but at the end of the day, it's a great analogy in illustrating the nature of a blocked solar plexus. When you feel like you're trying to get people to come and check you out, and your purpose is needing to be validated and confirmed by having the attention of other people, like seeking outer attention or likes and stuff like that. Like these are blockages, energetic blockages, where it's necessary to have more confidence. Those are the lower chakras. I'm going to kind of move into sections. And if you notice, if you go back just a little teeny bit, you'll realize the first three have to do with very materialistic aspects of our physical plane. Because now we're moving more to the higher planes of the energetic center. And we associate the first three chakras a lot with money, power, and respect. Right? Money, and then power and respect, and they say, oh yeah, money, power, respect, it rules the world, this is and the third. Well, once again, this is the world from a physical sense, the lower planes of existence when it comes to communicating with people and your connections with others. Those are the lower three chakras, and these are the foundations of those when it comes to this plane of existence. So now we're going to move into the lighter side of things. The heart chakra. The heart chakra is extremely important. Why? Because it is the true foundation of all the chakra centers. This is the true foundation that holds all of these energy centers together. They all meet right here in the heart space. And when it comes to grounding and a sense of purpose, a sense of focus, a sense of presence, and the frequency of peace, this is where it all starts, right here. Heart chakra is associated with love, compassion, unity, wholeness, connection, harmony, nature, joy, warmth, and acceptance. It's the bridge between the lower and higher chakra system, integrating the manifest with spirit. So basically it integrates the physical with the non-physical. This is where they connect. An example is when a person has a lot of physical wealth or resources and things of this nature. A balanced heart chakra allows the person to recognize the nature of their physical resources, but at the same time, recognize the source of the physical resources that they have. So it's like having money or whatever the case may be, but at the same time recognizing and being grateful for what you have, where there's a healthy use of the money and resources that you have. You connect in the physical world with the spiritual world right here in the center of your being. This is where the heart chakra is absolutely paramount to a healthy sense of being and a level of focus. Now, the heart chakra from a pure sense has to do with love of self and others, nurturing, caring, compassion, self-love, encouragement and empowerment, feeling connected to all personal values, healthy emotional expressions, presence in the moment, gratitude for all. If you notice, this is the essence of light work. This is the essence of what is being expressed on a daily basis within the transmissions. When you talk about light work and being of service to humanity, the things that are being written that are serving the light, you're talking about being encouraging, being empowering, healthy emotional expressions when it comes to your creativity and personal values and connecting with others. And most importantly, a sense of presence in the moment and actually being here and recognizing the most important thing in life is what's going on right in front of you. Like This is existence. This is where you're able to be in gratitude for all, for life itself. This is where you're able to sense all the stimuli that life has to offer, and it all being blessed. And it all comes from having an open, healthy sense of being within the heart chakra, which is the foundation of all the energy centers. So, the distorted, somewhat closed heart chakra has to do with self-sacrifice. A big deal. People pleasing, playing victim, betrayal, hatred of self, lack of empathy, isolation from others, avoiding social interactions, grief, anger, jealousy, codependency, being shy, loneliness, inability to forgive and let go, repressed emotions, being tired of trying to change others. This is a big deal. Disconnection and being ungrateful. There's a lot of this. A lot of this going on.
Speak of which chakra this was one more time.
This is the heart chakra. This is the heart chakra. When you're dealing with these things, these are blockages within the heart chakra, the foundation of your energy centers. I know loneliness to be a big deal. Attempting to change others, jealousy, anger, all of these things are deal with distorted and closed heart chakra. Self-sacrifice. Self-sacrifice has to do with feeling that you sacrificing your own happiness is helping someone else. This doesn't work. When you're attempting to do things and burn yourself out, when you're burning yourself out and you're trying to help people, I'm trying to help humanity, I'm trying to save the world, this, that, and the third, and you're not happy, and you're hurting, and you have a sense of resentment, you're closing your heart chakra. You're not helping anybody by doing that. You cannot help others unless you're in a place to be able to help yourself. Self-love is the foundation of all love. This is where that comes from. So, we'll keep it moving. Go a little higher. Throat chakra. All right. So, the throat chakra is associated with expression, internal and external communication, the inner voice. This is the connection with the ethereal realms, with the etherics. Speech. It is the passage of energy between the lower parts of the body and the head, serving as a medium between emotions and thought. The materialization or clothing of your feelings into sound vibrations. That's what words are used for. We basically clothe our feelings to exchange amongst each other to bring a sense of clarity in how a person feels, or to communicate how you feel to another person. Yeah? So, a clear, non-distorted, and pure throat chakra has to do with truthful communication, trusting the inner voice, expressing your truth, authenticity, intuitive abilities, healthy self-expression, strong confidence in voice, speaking up for yourself and others, conversation and listening skills, speaking kindly, keeping promises, originality, ability to say no when you need to, personal integrity, honor, understanding, creative expression, both verbal, non-verbal, when it comes to writing and singing and things of this nature. This is a clear throat chakra. This is the clear throat chakra. So, closed or distorted throat chakra has to do with resentment, repressed emotions, I want to say a sense of shyness in your self-expression, insecurity, social anxiety, distrust of the inner voice that you have inside, not following your intuition, ability to verbalize your thoughts, needs, desires, fear of public speaking, fear of judgment, and ridicule, scared of what people think, being secretive, having a weak voice, inability to keep promises, lying, gossip, verbal aggression, fear of confrontation, stirring, manipulative behavior. These all have to do with distortions within the throat chakra, and for the most part, a sense of being when it comes to truth, personal truth, when it comes to your intentions and things of this nature. So openness is vital to you being able to communicate and interact and express yourself. This is necessary when it comes to your creativity, artistic integrity. As you can see and tell, this is where I live. I live within the realms of communication and representing the blue ray, golden blue, if you will. These are the colors that resonate with my presence and communicating the nature and speaking eloquent and communicating the nature of the divine. So this is a beautiful chakra to deal with. And once again, the balances and imbalances all are aspects of the linear experience. Because there's always an expansion. That's the purpose of all of this, is expanding and self-realization. When you realize what's going on, when you realize the blockages that you're dealing with within your energy, you feel the programs of the illusion that have created blockages within your energy field. You're here to witness them and allow them to clear through your intentions. Yeah? So, let's go up one. And this is probably more popular because of its title, its placement, and has a lot to do with, I'll say, the linear experience and some of the exchanges of information amongst the ancients when it comes to this chakra. We're going to talk about the third eye chakra now. So, the third eye chakra is associated with seeing beyond the illusion. And we're talking about both the inner and outer world. Self-reflection, spiritual awareness, the intuition, inner knowing, imagination, intelligence, insight, visualization, dreams, memories, perceptions, and the mental plane. This is where the third eye comes in. Introspective. Self-limiting ideas and beliefs. When you're able to see these, when it comes to introspection, you're able to assess and realize the blockages you might create for yourself. Yeah? This is seeing the higher perspective beyond duality, beyond separation. Keen, intelligent balance, and strong intuitive abilities, mindfulness, access to inner guidance, seeing the deeper meaning of symbols, inspiration, following your inner knowing, ability to visualize the direction that you take from here to there, clear thinking, ability to see the big picture. Open to new ideas, dreams, and visions. There's a lot that has to do with a mental construct here. I'm filtering as I go, because once again, beyond the words, beyond the black and white, there's a deeper aspect of this as we move into even higher expressions of the truth. So, once again, the third eye has to do with a sense of insight, an ability to see beyond the physical. This is the intuitive vision when it comes to seeing with the heart. This all has to do with the third eye. Now, as far as opening the third eye, and I'll speak to this only because there's a lot of confusion around this subject matter when it comes to the nature of awakening and evolving and enlightenment. The third eye opening is a very, very divine process. Yes, being able to see from a higher perspective is rather natural. However, there's a divine activation of the third eye that involves all the other chakras and their activation. This is a divine process that comes with the manifestation and activation of the Merkaba. However, these things take place at a very refined aspect of our journey. Yes, we do embrace aspects of the third eye opening, or as far as its activation or its activity at present. However, this is a very sacred process that takes quite a bit of time and grounding and evolution. And it's happening very fast when it comes to the human body and this species evolution. However, when your third eye is open, you'll know it in a very, very large degree. There is no mistaking this particular process. However, it's not something that you learn on YouTube. It's not something that happens overnight. It takes a vigorous amount of self work. It takes a certain amount of development on all levels. It's happening. But once again, it's a very sacred process. And we speak about it a lot, but once again, there's a lot that's involved with this. But the best thing you can do at present is just be present and embrace the moment for what it is. It's all happening. It's within your intent. It's integrated within the evolution of the human body and the activation, full activation of the human body. However, it's not an exclusive something that takes place only here. There's people saying, oh, it's my third eye, but at the same time, judging people and dealing with all these other blockages. So, what you got, bro?
We got 2 questions.
Can I say them? Or does they have to do with the third eye?
I'm going to assume it's pretty in that
okay, in that range.
same
Please shoot.
that
What
range.
you got?
This one's from Alice.
Yeah, what you got, Alice?
I do not always whole head, take only lately to go with all in all that I am. Can you share of divine about it?
One more time.
I do not always whole head, take only to go with all in all that I am. Can you share of divine about it?
You just did. You just did. You go with it. The I do not part, this is the voice of the ego. You do. The analysis says you don't, but you do. All in all is. Love is. You're here. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Embrace it. Once again, this voice is, it caters to a sense of stagnation. When you're present and you allow what's taking place, you recognize there's nothing out of place about right now. This is infinite intelligence in action. You're breathing, you're seeing, you're tuned in, you're focused, you're embracing what's present. This is all that is necessary. Be here and enjoy it.
Hope you got that. Thank you for the green hearts, Alice. Okay, we got something for Carrie. What are your perspectives on people removing their chakras? And they say that they have removed them as not needed, but that it may be easier for negative interference etherically, as some believe in fear. So basically, what is your perspective on people removing chakras? I was saying running from chakras.
And in actuality, this is exactly what's taking place here. There's an attempt to omit or ignore certain aspects of one's own energy field that are impossible. It's not possible to remove your chakras. If anything, you're attempting to annoy or to avoid and ignore the aspects of those chakra centers that you feel are in your way. Resistance represents fear. Whatever you resist and you attempt to push away is a resistance to what is. When it comes to your energy centers, it's not possible to remove them. They're integrated aspects of your being. I mean, even attempting to remove anything is a notion based in separation. You're already perfect. This is fear, question, and love. Oh, my brain says if I take these out, then I probably can evolve or I'll be in more balance. But once again, this is the ignorance of the mind. The heart knows that once again, you're built perfect on all levels. So there's nothing to be removed. If anything, unconditional love and the wisest thing a person can possibly do is accept that everything is there as it's supposed to be. Resistance represents fear, and to assume that you can remove your chakras is based in ignorance. So once again, fear deserves none of your attention. Yeah.
One last one.
What you got?
We'll go keep it at this one, and then everybody asks questions like after.
Yeah, we'll do it afterwards. We'll address the questions later, but we'll get one more. What you got?
Last one. From Julie. Peace, Julie. Is it true that the lower 3 chakras are related to our lower earthling selves, and the 3 upper are related to our spiritual awareness, and the heart center is the universal chakra?
In black and white, I could say yes. But, of course, as stated in the disclaimer, it's a lot deeper than it is on the surface. But for these purposes, as we move forward and recognizing the nature of the divine, from a very superficial sense, yes, this is what's taking place here. For the most part, you're dealing with the physical world and the higher energetic aspects of one's being, where the heart is the center and foundation of the flow that is all within the energy centers. So, yes, very true. All right, so with that said, I'll move on to the crown chakra. This is the last of the 7. And for the most part, the crown chakra has, as I look at all the different chakras and the explanations and things, this has the shortest description as far as the least amount of wording. And intuitively you can sense why that is, because once you get out of here, just the veil starting to thin, and you start to deal with the absolute, the more exact and simplistic aspects of eternity. So the crown chakra is associated with universal consciousness, enlightenment, spiritual connection with the higher self and all that is, and presence. A clear crown chakra, talking about up here, clear crown, has to do with feelings of unity and oneness with everything and everyone. Ability to see connection amongst and between all creation. A feeling of deep peace and bliss about life, a sense of knowing that there's a deeper meaning and order amongst all existence. Trust in a universe that all is well. Ability to honor divine in others and being divine. Living with a sense of purpose. Unruffled by setbacks. Unmoved, your inability to be unshakable. Going with the flow. Going with the flow. Going with the flow. And an experience of psychic knowing. I reiterate, going with the flow. This is the crown chakra. We're talking about the violet, white, light essence and aura of oneself. Going with the flow. Quite simplistic and a coin term amongst humanity, but once again, this is the crown chakra. Going with the flow. Blockages in the crown chakra have to do with a disconnection between the spirit and the body, a disconnect between earthly matters, living in the head, obsession with spiritual matters, closed-mindedness, inability to connect with others, a lack of direction, depression, living a life without direction and purpose, feeling lost in life, confusion, feeling incomplete. I'll say it one more time. Feeling incomplete. Worry. Being uninspired. secular or rigid thinking, cynicism, attachment to the ego mind, clinging to outdated beliefs and ideas, clinging to beliefs and ideas. This has to do with the closed crown chakra. Now, let me speak to a couple of those points real quick. A disconnection from the spirit and the body. This has to do with feeling that we are our body, that you are this, the crude matter that Master Yoda spoke about, instead of spirit. And at the end of the day, yes, we operate within a physical being. However, in stillness, we realize that we aren't the physical being itself, but we realize that we are the invisible essence that is all that we see. This is us. We are all that is. We are the creator. We are the experience, not necessarily this. Where, once again, in human terms, when we speak, oh yeah, you doing this, you doing that, da da da, only God can judge me. This is to assume that there's a God outside of you judging you as the body, as if you are the body. This is based in separation. You are that, and this as well. You are the all. You are all that there is. You are love. Love is. Living in your head. Obsession with spiritual matters. This is a big deal. Obsession with spiritual matters. This is the ego's activity and obsession with attempting to figure out the divine. How does spirituality work? Questions, questions, questions. How do I open my chakras? How do I meditate? How do I stop thinking? How do I activate this? How do I open my third eye? How do I activate my Merkaba? How do I? These are all logical questions. The logical mind attempting to understand the nature of love, understand the divine. The divine and love itself is not logical. The mind is limited to logical understanding. Both logic and or understanding itself is a logical concept, a logical term. Being able to analyze the nature of something in its entirety. Life is eternal, infinite, constantly expanding. So once again, attempting to understand the nature of a constantly expanding eternity is equivalent to a dog chasing his tail. So this is where confusion comes in, because you collect information and knowledge and this, and I read this book and such said this and such said that. I read this book and I read that, and I've been awakened for 15, 20, 30 years. I've been doing this such a long time, so on and so forth. But then there's questions. There's still questions. There's questions. Once again, for every question, there's an answer. For every answer, there's another question. It's a ruthless, endless cycle of logical jibber-jabber. And it goes nowhere. Peace is the stepping stone. Presence is the stepping stone and the end. It's the beginning and the end of a sense of being. Once again, secular and rigid thinking is not being open. This is, well, such and such told me this, or I thought we were going to do this first, and then this was going to happen. First contact, and such. I thought this was such and such said, blah, blah. There is no openness. It's just rigid. There's a clinging to information. Where, once again, wisdom is about being open. It's just about being here and accepting what is beyond question. It seems naive, and I deal with this word a lot. I'll close it out here because this is a last chakra. I deal with the word naive a lot because when you're dealing with evolving souls that are confident enough to walk this path in openness. In openness. You're dealing with people who are wise enough to embrace the strength to trust. They're fearless. Now, there is a level of being naive when it comes to not trusting your intuition and just kind of not listening to the inner voice as far in your feelings when it comes to making decisions and things of this nature. However, magic is a natural aspect of existence itself. It's natural magic, yes. It's very natural. Life is a miracle. It's a blessing. Once again, these are all aspects of the divine in which we're here to experience. However, when we refer to being naive a lot, or at least when humans refer to being naive, they speak of people not having insurance, or not paying attention to what happened to this person and that person when they're making decisions or when they're doing things. Oh, this person did this person did that. How come, why are you being so naive? Because this happened to this person. Do you imagine what happened to you? Once again, when a person follows their heart and walks their own path, you ignore fear when it comes to people saying, oh, you need to watch out for this, or you need to be careful about this because I heard this. Let it go. Fear deserves none of your attention. When you follow your heart, there's a sense of clarity and courage that is intelligent. And that's all that's necessary. So a lot of times, once again, people hear the word naive, and it behooves you to trust your own heart beyond these judgments from so many unawakened souls. Let it go. Let them walk their path. You do you. Continue to love. So, those are the 7 chakras in a very superficial nutshell. We're going to start, that's the end of our seminar portion. We're going to start a discussion, and a lot of the discussion will be based on questions and remarks from our audience. So, C's, what you got, man?
Hold up. Time out.
Time out?
Peace, everybody. Once again, it's your boy Mine. Would like to welcome to the Let's Build session, Chakras edition. We down here in the Tigger's basement doing what we do.
Rap City.
Rap City. Basically, this is the open question forum time. So if you have anything to chime in, to say, or just to ask, whatever you want to say, I'll read it to the squad and to our guests. And we'll sit here and talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
A dose.
So we're gonna go around the room
Hold
first.
on.
And
I got something from Carrie.
Yeah, what you got, Carrie?
Carrie, where was it? Yeah, I think it was for the person that was trying to get rid of their chakras.
Mm-hmm.
She said what was interesting was they use a pendulum to feel if any more energy flows from the chakras by placing it next to the body to measure if all the chakras are dissolved etherically. So that's what made her question that. She was trying to get rid of their chakras and measure if they were gone by the pendulum swing, as the Wiz would say.
Mm-hmm. Well, usually the pendulum swing just the pendulum swing over an energetic center signifies if the energy center is active, fully active, or there's a blockage. Where the circular motion is an affirmative and the swing back and forth of the pendulum is that of a closure or a distortion, a weakness within the energy center itself. So it's not possible to close the chakra and see if the energy is not flowing there. I mean, energies are going to continue to flow as long as you're here. The most important aspect of that is to make sure or allow yourself to express these energies and make sure that the healthy flow of the energies from the base to the crown into the etherics and your connection with the higher and lower realm clear, and not about you to skip over and take a shortcut directly from your root chakra to your crown chakra. And this is like,
Well, this even Julie has something in correlation, kinda. She's asking, do the chakras open and close on a regular basis? And each one spins a different direction, yes. But can you speak on the meridians that branch off of the main chakras? I think it's a two-part question.
so the first part,
Do the chakras open and close on a regular basis?
yes. This has to do with the linear experience, expansion. But once again, the closure and opening. This is expansion. It's what the heart does. This beating, right? But once again, with the closure and the clearance of the closure, there's a greater expansion. It's like a bounce back, and it does this every time you experience these experiences. There's a closure, but then there's an opening. And it continues to do that and expand and expand and expand as you go through experiences. Once again, this is the nature of the experience, and you realizing the nature of your expansion and the realization of self. Perfect example. Or another example would be, say you, okay, this is real basic. Say you run into some money, right? Opening. And then the money's gone like that real fast, right? There's somewhat of a closure, but maybe the way that the money left, and being a blessing in disguise, had a outcome that served a greater purpose, and that greater purpose came more funding, more resources. You help someone, the blessings were returned on a greater scale in different means. It doesn't necessarily have to be money being returned, but on a greater scale, the resources, maybe something that you wanted to experience, comes from that, the exchange of money, whatever the case may be, and there's a greater expansion. That greater expansion comes from you realizing the nature of the money, allowing it to flow and go, but then the realization that out of that flow came a greater reality, a greater sense of abundance, where from that you can sense a sense of confidence in knowing that you will always continue to have what you need to have to do whatever you need to do. And that sense of trust and confidence is opening your root chakra even more, because regardless of where the money flows and how it goes, you're starting to recognize that you're safe, and you're going to continue to have the resources you need as long as you aren't detached or attached to them, or feeling greed, or attempting to protect yourself from not having the resources that you need, the savings, and making sure you got a backup plan, and this, that, and the third. That sense of confidence is expanding the chakra, where there's a sense of comfortability, or a sense of comfort. I'm making up words now. A sense of comfort, a sense of discomfort, a sense of comfort, a sense of discomfort, a sense of even more comfort, where as it balances, you come to this place of knowing and a sense of presence where that comfort is unshakable. You know it's going to come and it's going to go. It's going to come and it's going to go. But regardless of the coming and going, it's always going to come, and you're going to stay here in the center. Going to be balanced and beyond blockages within your root chakra. Yeah? So, the second part of that question involved...
You kind of already answered it.
I did, yeah, no doubt.
You kind of answered it.
Most doubt. So, you get in like a real basic analogy would be that, and this is how these things work. But once again, attempting to gauge them and continue running back and forth to your Reiki master and get them to open your chakras and this, and I mean, this creates a sense of dependency. It's nothing. Once again, I'm not knocking Reiki masters and opening chakras and things of this nature, but once again, opening your chakra system and a healthily balanced chakra system is an integrated aspect of your presence, where your sense of presence and the angelic guidance that you're always receiving The experiences that you're always having are always going to continue to open the chakras and expand them to a greater nature where you experience a sense of balance that's constant. This is where activation takes place. This is where full consciousness occurs. They're going to continue to close and they're going to continue to open. But as they open, you're going to face situations that require you to open them more. But the process of opening them more requires them to close a little bit. You're going to get comfortable. You're going to get uncomfortable a little bit. But that sense of discomfort is going to allow you to bounce back to a greater sense of comfort until there's a sense of stability in all your energy centers. And this is a constant aspect of the linear experience.
And that kind of answers your question, Mel. She's asking, can you expand on whether we should not focus on blockages? You kind of already answered that.
No doubt. Exactly.
Very clear. Peace, Medusa. I always get your name wrong, my bad.
Always do.
How you say it? Medusa. M-Lady, that's what I'm going to call you. Peace. Let me scroll down. Let me see. Julia's talking about...
We're going to get some stuff.
Let's go. Let's hit the crew.
What's good, CeeLo? How you feeling about all this, man?
First of all, I have to admit that this is my very first chakra workshop, so it's great to be a part of the Universal Brothers and Sisters who's hosting it. But this is my first one. To be honest with you guys, I have really never dived in deep into the chakra system. I've heard about it here and there. You know, I've always been fascinated with crystals and gems, but knowing the properties of what each one does pertaining to the different chakras of the body is something that I'm going to probably most likely dive into a little bit more, especially with knowing the experiences of what's going on throughout our daily lives and spiritual awakening. Like for instance, the example that AZ gave as far as like the root chakra, you know, and me understanding that right now I have a lot of blockages in my root chakra.
No, we are.
So to get this more understanding in a plain perspective instead of going so deep, it's giving me the, I guess I want to say, the drive to look at it a little further and see how I can help myself understand that chakra better and not really focus on the blockages, but understand that it's there and to accept it and then keep it moving. Because I think my issue is I'm not accepting some of the things that's going on that's causing the blockages in my root chakra. So, but that's what I'm getting from this workshop right now. I can't wait for the next one.
Yes, sir.
I'm pretty sure we'll have a couple more folks here, and we'll be able to do some scenario stuff, which was our initial goal. But it's good. Any information that we're getting, as we say, it's a beginner chakra workshop. So happy to be here. Happy that you guys are out there staying tuned in. We really appreciate it, and we'll have more to come.
What you got going?
I'm a sponge. I'm just listening and learning.
Mr. Polo.
Yes, sir. What's your name again, Lawson?
Martin.
Martin. Pleasure to meet you, Martin. How do you feel about all of this, man?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I would appreciate more people coming in to fill up the room, to make it warm. Have a warm feeling.
Some body heat.
Maybe we get some juice and keep our body and sugar.
Well, that's normally what we have upstairs, but
I know that.
they're doing
just
construction.
Coming in, bring in, like celebrate, have a good time.
It's normally more lovely upstairs.
I'm listening and learning, and I really would like to open myself too, but I have a blockage of the camera a little bit. Camera running all the time feels a little bit.
I'm gonna put it on me then.
To meet people, to get
I'm gonna put the camera on me so he can talk. Hi everybody. I'll put the camera on me while Michael's talking.
Yeah. What's going on, P?
I ain't gonna put it on him either.
Okay, I have a question.
Sure, what you got?
Okay, can you touch these chakras to maybe let the energy get out and let it get flowing?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a one of the practices even I kind of study. I still need to touch up on. It's called acupressure. It's kind of just like the form of acupuncture,
Okay.
but it's basically hitting the meridians of nerve bundles up under your skin.
Yeah, because it gets deeper with the...
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then you can block those, unblock those flows.
On a physical level, the acupressure is very accurate. However, there's also an energetic practice that you can embrace as well. The palms of our hands, there's etheric crystals located in the palm of our hands. Right here, and at the bottom of the feet as well. There are etheric crystals that are there. Now, and I don't necessarily want to get into too much detail with that, but your intent to activate those crystals in the palm of your hands is a simple method of pressing the palm of your hand for a certain amount of time and then allowing the energy to vibrate. You do like this, and you can feel like the magnetism in between your hands. If you ever rub your hands together and you felt the magnetism, those are the energy crystals in your hands. Your ability to, or your intent to open up chakras, especially if you feel there's a sense of a blockage, you can cater to opening these areas through applying a sense of pressure and closing the eyes and feeling the energy and allowing your angelic guidance and your own energies to open up these energy centers when it comes to blockages. I do this often when it comes to like public speaking and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll self-medicate myself and open up. If I feel a sense of nervousness, open up my throat, open up my heart to being able to connect with people and self-realization. But once again, it's necessary to realize that you have help all around you at all times. And with your intent, and of course a little bit of motion and so on and so forth, you allow your hands and eyes and intentions and energies to be guided to do these things naturally. But a slight press and awareness, closing your eyes and becoming aware of that energy center and connecting with the crystal in your hand and giving your assistance, requesting assistance to allow it to open, it works. It's a really, really intuitive function within our being. So yes, there's quite a few different levels, but that's probably the most practical. So, team, you got anything, bro?
Any more questions out there? Let me see. I know someone said something. I know Julie said she was here. She would be talking a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a great thing.
That's a great thing.
It's a good thing. Bring it, Julie. Let me see. Keep scrolling.
Maybe you can tell a little bit about the stones.
Maldisa is mad at me. She's gonna get me.
You found out about the stones on your paper?
Yeah, so...
Go ahead. I got one more.
Alright, I'm gonna answer that as soon as we finish this one.
Yeah.
What you got?
Where we go? Chris McGinnis. Should one just always smile and flow with peace in the now? Just know all is well and say yes and thank you. Can you talk about healthy boundaries and when to say no? I personally smile regardless. Like, why not?
So, there was, even within the question, there was a sense of discomfort and blockage that can be sensed intuitively. We're dealing with an experience, not even dealing with, I don't necessarily enjoy using the term. It's life. There's fluctuation here. The oceans of emotion. We're riding a wave of ascension. All these terms and analogies, metaphors are indications of the flowing nature. When we say go with the flow, we're dealing with the liquid, the essence of the etherics. There's always motion, there's always expansion, there's always change. This is natural within the experience. You're not gonna be happy all the time. You're not gonna smile all the time. This is a very, very superficial approach to your experience. Being enlightened is not about ignoring how you feel. When you ignore how you feel, you cause blockages in your energy field. Integrity, personal integrity. It takes strength to be honest with yourself. To be here and accept what's going on. If it was about smiling all the time and, oh no, everything's cool, this, blah, 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 I'm just smile, I don't care. No, you do care. You do feel. Of course you do. You embrace them. And as you heal, and you accept how you feel, there's a sense of stability in your ability to always return to the heart space. Because this is where you find that stability, in the heart space. Once again, emotions are temporary. So if I was to say, oh yeah, just smile all the time, it's not possible, because once again, that's a very temporary state. The eternity, the infinite aspect of yourself, the truth of who you are, is the frequency of peace. Peace is neither happy or sad. There's just peace. This is the only thing that's eternal. And once again, as the creator, as God, you are eternal. So it's always about returning to the heart space and embracing the frequency of peace. Yes, things are going to piss you off sometimes. You'll get frustrated sometimes. Things happen sometimes. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, smile, be happy if your mother died, or you break your leg. You're going to cry. It's going to hurt sometimes. However, your sense of personal integrity and strength allows you to accept what's going on after the drama and return to that space of balance. It's always about returning to the heart space and being in peace, where through doing that, you're accepting yourself, you're accepting the experience. I'm not talking about complaining about it. I'm not talking about nagging about it and holding on to the experience and, oh, there was some such fault and they shouldn't have did this, they shouldn't have did that, this, that, and third. This is where you drag it along. This is the ego activity, where you drag it along and you bring yourself into an extremely low vibration. It's best to accept what is. Allow yourself the room, space, and unconditional love to feel how you feel unconditionally. And as you return to the heart space, you embrace the wisdom and strength and spiritual maturity it takes to back away from the illusion and realize who you are in truth. And this is where your peace is. This is where you return to peace. Once again, this is not about being superficial. And once again, the brain has a bunch of different ideas about what enlightenment looks like. Oh, the old dude that sits in the mountains and doesn't say nothing. And this. No, this is not that. If anything, this is religion's grandiose idolization of what spiritual enlightenment is about. It's a lot more complex than that. It's a little deeper than that. Once again, we're dealing with infinite intelligence here, and not children's books. So once again, embrace what's going on. Accept who you are. Acceptance is the key. But peace is the foundation of unconditional love. Return to your heart space, accept who you are, accept the experience, and keep it rolling. Is there any other questions?
So to answer that question, yes and no. No, you shouldn't be smiling like I do. But yes, you should. Because just like Julie said, you can pour that energy into your solar plexus from the sun and feel more enthusiasm. That doesn't mean your problems are gone, situation doesn't exist, but as creator as God or whatever, it's still up to you to say, hey, I'm going to smile and I'm going to keep moving. Someone's asking, Thurston is asking, what's up, LG? LG chilling in. You can't have no profile picture with no shirt on and stuff. Come on, bro.
Yeah, I know it.
The what?
He's asking about the stones. You got another question?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give
stones. What stones?
Yeah, they'll get the question to stones. They
okay.
ask about the crystals.
Here it is. Can you speak on how important it is to be around like-minded people?
So, I'll address the wording first. Because when we talk about like-minded, we're talking about people who share the same mental filters as we do. However, our evolution is about returning to the heart space beyond the mental filters, beyond perceptions. Yes, of course, it's great to be around agreeable people. People who like the same things that you like and so on and so forth. This is okay. I get that. I'm not being condescending here at all. However, as far as its importance, there's a very low sense of, well, let's not do that. How about we go this way? It's important for you to be comfortable with who you are beyond any dependency on outside validation or confirmation from anybody. It's great to connect with other light workers and people who are on an ascension path and expanding upon recognizing the nature of divinity and the chakras and the path, and being exchanged stories about what you've experienced and seeing the parallels between their experience and your experience. However, at the same time, your strength comes from self-acceptance and not necessarily needing that around you. And I've expressed this quite a bit here in recent because there's a large community of newly awakened souls that you get the phone call.
Yeah, go ahead, keep going.
So there's a large community of newly awakened souls that feel that it's necessary to have that validation and to only be around other awakened souls and to have that sense of community where we're all kind of hanging around each other and love and light and dancing. And I'm not saying anything is wrong or out of place or being judgmental about these things. However, it's necessary to realize we're all placed in accordance with the nature of this expansion, where as leaders of the new earth, we're spread amongst humanity, amongst 7 billion, where the majority of these souls are entertaining the mind identity and existing within a sense of darkness, where our awakening and our confidence in embracing a path of leadership and awakening is shining a light that's allowing those around us the opportunity to see beyond the illusion as healers. So, from time to time, you will connect with souls that have the same abilities to embrace the nature of evolution from a place of confidence. However, the majority of the time, especially during these times of change, you won't coexist around these souls the whole time. For the majority of the time, you'll be around those that people like to judge and label as negative people. Why? because they need healing. They need your love. They need the perspective and the mind construct or perception that you have at present. They need you to shine that light. They require healing. They require you to be around to radiate that loving, open-hearted energy. It can be very uncomfortable, but that's the nature of our service. You have to be strong to serve. And our presence here is about being amongst souls that we can help. Not necessarily through telling them what to do and attempting to violate their free will, but shining a light as an example of the divine truth of our being. And being this type of example around these people. Because once again, they are reflections of self. And as you heal, those around you heal. And in truth, you and those around you are but you as a creator. You're just healing aspects of self. So yes, it's very comfortable to be around those that share a path, that the same path that you do. However, as far as its importance, the truth is obvious. It's more important to be around those that don't have examples of the divine truth that you shine. It's more important to be around those that require this healing, because as you heal, they heal. And this is where you're in service to the light.
So we're going to the rocks.
Let's do the rocks.
Go to the rocks.
Cool.
Hold on, big shout out and my condolences to Lori and Rebecca for your losses. And I'm gonna get Lavelle to answer your question later, Lori. That's something he has to speak to you about personally. But yeah, back to the rocks.
All right, cool. So, quite not necessarily. Well, it can be complex, but at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be, because once again, infinite intelligence works in the most mysterious ways that connect with a sensibility or simplicity that is ingenious. All the chakras are associated with colors. All the chakras have a color to them. Crown chakra is associated with white and violet. The color white and violet. That's your crown chakra. White or clear and a violet color. The third eye chakra has to do with the indigo, like an indigo color, kind of a bluish purple looking color. That's this one here. The throat chakra is blue. It deals with blues. The heart chakra always deals with greens and pinks. So right now, the sweater you got on, the hoodie you got on, is very open-hearted, and it's allowing it's conducive to or catering to an open heart chakra. The solar plexus having to do with a yellow. This one right here, it deals with yellow. And that's when it comes to your relations with others and connecting with people and talking and stuff like that. The orange chakra, this one here, dealing with your sexuality and pleasure and things of this nature, it has to do with an orange. Yeah, so once again, having this pants, the orange pants is conducive to. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And the root chakra, it deals with a red. The root chakra deals with a red, a darker red color, being a base, and then sometimes it deals with a black. A lot of dark colors have to do with the base chakra. Those are grounding energies. When it comes to crystals, when you look at the crystals and the hues of the crystal, based off of the chakra colors, you're connecting with those energies in themselves. Now, all of these crystals have specific names associated with them, and they have specific energetic benefits that deal with things within your interactions and communications and you can touch those out. I'm basically grouping them in different collectives to illustrate the nature of, there we go, this one here. So, what's this? So, like a quartz. Quartz is a clear stone. It's rather common and easily findable when it comes to pocket stones or quartz crystals. They put those in like watches and stuff like that. These have to do with the crown chakra. When it comes to the violets, some blues, dealing with the third eye, they stimulate these ones here. Blues, clear blues, aquas. They just, I want to say it's a moonstone. Huh?
They glow.
Yeah, they glow, of course. They glow. And as you activate your energy centers, you're able to operate them. Now, as far as crystals are concerned, they're conscious. They're conscious because they maintain the molecular structure that they were created originally by. They vibrate with the nature of the earth because, once again, they aren't manipulated. The molecular structure of these stones or the rocks or crystals, they were formulated like millions and millions of years ago with the planet. They have not changed their structure since their creation. So when it comes to speaking about nature, nature vibrates at a certain frequency because it hasn't been changed. It hasn't been manipulated. A lot of things having to do with the physical world and how we operate, things are easily manipulated, and that's what's taking place here. So it loses its vibration, it loses its foundational structure where, once again, the crystals have maintained their molecular structure from the beginning of their creation, where they're exactly as we created them. So they have a benefit to our body based on that molecular structure not being changed or manipulated. It's just like going into nature, and nature has a healing sense of presence on the body because it's not being manipulated.
With I talked to someone, and she told me, I mean, there was a stone which was like calling her.
Yeah.
So she talked to her grandfather. Because something wasn't wrong with her. And the grandfather said the crystal might rob you of your energy or takes away. Is that true, or can this happen?
No, I didn't look at earlier.
So maybe
There's I don't want to say take away from a person's energy. If anything, they're conducive. They might, once again, like you just said, it moves and might manipulate a person's energy in a particular way. Where if a person is open and very vibrant, and their vibrancy is conducive to their presence, then once again, if you was to embrace a grounding stone, it just calm you down. But once the vibrancy is conducive to what you're doing, and you have a naturally enthusiastic and vibrant nature, you want to maintain that. Yeah. So maybe that was the nature of the communication from a grandfather, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, and also, there's also another possibility, and this is where cleaning your stones is necessary. Sometimes the stones, especially quartz, they're programmable. Based on a person's energy. They're programmable and they hold data, they hold energy. Yeah? So if a person has a low vibrational frequency, whatever the case may be, and they've maintained the stone, that energy is still within the stone, where when a person receives new stones, it's necessary to clean them. Sometimes people clean them with sage, some clean them with salt, but for the most part, the molecular structure of this crystal is always conducive to a person's spiritual benefit, basically. So there's a couple different matters having to deal with that. So maybe the stone that she had might have been, I don't want to say dirty, but might have a low vibrational frequency and she didn't clean it. But of course, you clean it, it returns to its original state, its original vibrancy. So, yeah. But once again, some crystals are helpful in opening the chakras and doing the things that you're doing, wearing colors, even bath water. Some people put the stones in water to change the vibrancy of the water, the glass of water that you drink when you clean it, but then you put it in the stone. They call them crystal cocktails. Where
That's what Julie just said. Call it a rock tail. See, like that. You want rock tail? You want JD on rocks?
Nah, man. That's him rock tail, man.
It's like, man, you don't put no crystals in no Hennessy.
Yeah, don't do that.
I might have to try that now.
What's up, son? You got any more questions?
Someone was asking where it go. Rebecca, how do you use the stones and crystals?
How do I not use the stones and crystals?
They here.
At the end of the day, crystals are abundant, and of course, they're tools. Or should God divine assist us in many different ways. Now, as far as in the everyday lifestyle, personally, I embrace crystals a lot, and I find it very helpful and conducive for me to embrace crystals as accessories. I deal with crystals when it comes to accessorizing. I love colors, decoration, jewelry, and things of this nature, so I use the crystals in that formation. But of course, you can put them in your water, put in your bath, in the bath when you take a bath, and you want to do some healing at home, how it relaxes you, then you can put it in the water. Of course, in your pockets, pocket stones and things of nature is always helpful. But meditations are very important with your crystals. But of course, at the end of the day, it's very, very necessary for you to take care of them. They have a lot to share with you on an energetic level as far as communication, because once again, they're conscious. These are conscious vibrational energies that have the ability to communicate with you. So they do communicate, and you embrace and treasure your stones. You don't throw them around, throw them against the wall and things of this nature. You know what I mean? You embrace the crystals and be very gentle with them. They're highly vibratory and operate just as animals do, as companions to humanity, and assisting us in awakening and balancing ourselves in our own true nature. So embrace the functionality of your crystals from an intuitive space. However you're guided to use the crystals, use them. And it'll help, and they're in your life for a specific purpose. It's just, once again, that purpose is unique to you as an individual. The more sensitive you are, the easier it is for you to embrace what's going on.
Julie said no Henny.
Yeah, you gotta know what don't put a crystal quartz in the Hennessy.
You ain't my friend no more. I was so about to try that too. Big ass rock quartz. What Carrie talking about? How different between Andaras types and crystals?
Oh, the Andaras and crystals. Andaras are cosmic stones. They're off-planet stones that come here via different methods, such as like meteorites and craters and comets. They come directly from the cosmos. They have a stellar vibration that goes directly with them. When Andaras come into your life, they're there for specific purposes that connect you with planes that are outer worldly. They have their purpose just as the earthly stones have their purpose. Once again, the origins of most of the stones that we're dealing with here that aren't of that nature help us with earthly plane matters, where some of the cosmic stones connect us and help us with more cosmic matters of a stellar nature. So those are the differences. However, the specifics as far as the nature of that energy depends on the Andara and the intuitive connection with that particular song.
Right here, I got another question.
Yo.
Do you think there is a higher chakra than the crown chakra? And it's because I'm talking about outer global, like we were talking about meteorites and stuff. Do you think we have a connection to the universal movement? Like you said before, they all connect in a way, outer body-wise. And is there another chakra? And is it? You think can we reach that chakra by meditation level or something?
Great question and a great segue. We're speaking about the 7 basics right now, which is a great thing as we awaken, and we'll do the awakening process, but understand an aspect of our fully conscious activation and returning to, or actually evolving into a state of becoming a galactic human. Our chakra systems are upgrading right now. We've been operating with these 7 chakras for the last 13,000. For the most part, closed during the entirety. But as we expand, the human body is changing amongst the energies that we're dealing with right now. And the human body is upgrading from a 7 chakra system to a 13 chakra system right now. The DNA of the human body is transforming from the 12, from the 2 strands to the 12-13 strand. And along with that DNA change, there is a change in the cellular structure from carbon to crystalline based. And once again, back to the chakras, we're moving from 7 to 13 chakras.
Julia's speaking of 23 system.
Oh yeah, there's quite a few different systems, but the galactic humanoid body, the foundational structure system, is a 13 chakra system. But there's plenty of them. As we expand, once again, it's a constant expansion, and as the expansion takes place, we're connecting with even more chakras within the system. However, those unfolding within the human body right now is the 13 chakra system. So, 1 second, please. I do have an illustration. I'm going to just give you an illustration so you can check it out.
Commercial break.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Julie, I will put my hand in a different glass from the crystals. She told me to put the hand in a separate glass.
Julie, you're taking the Henny too literally right now. We're just messing around. Do that, you know? But yes, I do prefer Henny opposed to Jim Beam. But you know what I'm saying? Jay, Jack Daniels, all that. I'm just speaking truth. But no, I would never put the crystals inside with the Hennessy. That just is not conducive to what we're doing right now. I wouldn't feel right even doing it. I would feel bad for the crystals.
Why not?
I don't know. I just
drown them in poison.
Yeah.
Oh my God, get me out of here.
Yeah.
So beyond the crown is the galactic male and female, which is connecting us with the divine masculine and feminine energy, which creates the balance. This is on the top of the crown. Beyond the crown, there's the 2, the 12 and 13. Actually getting a couple here. We got a well of dreams chakra and another one here. The title escapes me at the moment, but the top two that you were referring to beyond the crown is the galactic male and female, and this is the merging of both masculine and feminine energy when it comes to creativity and conventionality, and this is what's taking place with those chakras. But as mentioned before, there are quite a few different chakra systems and numbers, but once again, our sense of openness is reflective of our level of wisdom. We're going to continue to get a huge amount of information from different avenues as far as the development and numbers and the titles and so on and so forth. But once again, that presence, that sense of being, is where infinite intelligence lives. So embrace what's taking place and release the rigidness. There's more. There's always more.
I have something about
Sure.
the color green and purple. Sometimes I get like a discomfort. I don't know what it is.
You get a discomfort by the colors.
When I see it sometimes. I mean, this is like, it's with yellow. I can deal with this, but if it's just purple or like a certain type of shade of green.
It's not harmonic. You don't like it because it's not harmonic. Some colors
Yes,
are not harmonic.
I mean, I like a light purple. This kind like pastel, these type of purples, light, but when it gets like I don't know, there's certain
Yeah, just once again, like you spoke of, harmonics, with energetic essence. I mean, personally, the individual construct, I don't necessarily like brown like that. I mean, I would, it feels like a boring color for me. I enjoy vibrancy and bright colors and deep hues, but these are all based on our harmonic essence, where it isn't necessarily a bad thing or something wrong with the colors. It's just the nature of what we connect with. Do you enjoy pink? Do you have a problem with pink?
I like those very light. If you mix the colors with like white shades, this is for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So
But-
Subtleties.
But pink is just pink. It's
yes,
like pink. Yeah.
absolutely. Once again, like I said, these are harmonic frequencies. Of course, the frequencies and colors are intermatched and intermingled with harmonics or sounds. Sound frequencies have a color coordination that go with them. So certain hues and frequencies don't.
I mean, if there's
Some
green,
light,
Mhm.
basically.
Exactly.
for example, if there's green with a little shade of blue, I can deal with this.
Mhm.
But like something, it's in me that it's not.
Check the stones, read where they are,
Yeah.
check the colors, and then you might get some more
Yeah, most more insight.
doors open
Yeah.
inside.
Okay.
Yeah,
I try.
definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Okay.
You got something, team?
Mel is asking, do rocks have the same healing?
Do they have the same healing
Yeah, I'm guessing.
as far as the properties?
I'm gonna assume colors because she's saying, do rocks have the same healing? Rocks? No,
okay,
rocks.
Stones.
Rocks is it opposed to crystals?
Got you.
Yeah, she always.
They
Yes.
could because they have crystals in them.
Yes. Well, once again, we're talking about molecular structure. Stones, rocks, the earth, right? The dirt, sand, salt. All of these molecular structures have a
Gold, diamonds.
yeah, most definitely gold, diamonds. All of these minerals have a molecular structure that vibrates a particular energy, where they all have the radiation of that energy has healing properties and being connected with nature. So it's not necessarily about it being a crystal or having a particular color or hue. Sitting on a stone, on a mountain, the mountain is radiating a particular frequency of being because it maintains the structure. It's a part of the earth. So yes, of course, rocks and being an aspect of nature have healing abilities.
It's just like in parts of Kenya, they actually make pies out of dirt, the red dirt, because of the minerals and the not the ingredients, but the minerals that's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't even buy it to eat at the grocery store.
The red dirt, the red clay.
Yeah, most definitely have
Yeah.
that in
English, but I used to take that to clear up
I guess
my
for
body.
the hair and for the fingernails.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. For the thing that was I think they sell it, the red clay
Just
for
to
certain
clear
healing
up my
properties.
body.
Yeah. So once again, all of these things within the physical aspects of creation and existence are tools and companions and things that we have to use here to assist us in our journey in an infinite number of ways when it comes to the realms, from the etherics to the elementals to vegetation to crystals. Like all of these aspects of creation, especially when it comes to natural creation, are tools that we have to assist us in our journey. So it's quite beautiful.
I know Farrah just showed up mad late.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm sorry.
Put you on blast. Nah. Now, basically, we're just going over the beginning
I kinda
essence of
missed out on,
chakras.
like, the whole thing. I wasn't really sure what kind of.
Well, you got a packet.
I'm pretty sure we'll have another workshop as this is the beginner.
Sure, that'd be great.
You got a packet, and you know us personally,
That'd
and
be great. Thanks.
we can see him not really have a class, but really just kind of go
Yeah,
through
just some juice.
some, basically
The basics.
some things that have basically helped you get through what it is. I'm not gonna say your blockages, but what it is that you're going through in your physical form right now. Especially that conversation we had the other day when you was giving yourself so much trouble. All this can basically help clear you from you.
So let me actually, you know what, that when you said that brought up something. Because I remember getting some inquiries before. Did you have to say anything? You want to say something?
No, I'm just trying to figure out how stones are supposed to help me.
How stones are
What's
supposed to
my
help?
inner peace or
Just
letting
because
go.
No doubt, they basically vibrate a particular energy, right? That is associated with, like, just for example, like fear, right? Fear is associated with fear is interconnected with all of them, but the foundation of that fear has to do with the root chakra, like a sense of safety, right? If you have like a stone like this, for instance, this stone vibrates a frequency that is harmonic with opening your root chakra and allowing or assisting you in moving beyond fear and being a little less fearful, right? So if you have it on you and you're open to it, if you're open to the energy, it'll help soothe the feelings of fear and get them to calm down, because it works with opening up this chakra center.
And how do you know that? Like,
How do I know?
Where is proof that this actually works?
Well,
I think for me it's like just a mind thing.
Yeah, it's the
like
mind's analysis
a therapeutic.
The therapeutic nature, and the thing is actually
believe in something and then automatically it will heal you, but it's actually
but it's just it's just like how much do you trust a doctor that you don't even know? You just automatically assume that he knows what he's talking about, right? Or you automatically assume that what you get in that bottle is what you need to heal whatever the sickness is that you got.
not necessarily.
Most people do. They just assume, okay, this is the knowledge. I haven't looked in the microscope and seeing the bacteria is dying once I take this pill, but I'm going to trust the word of what everybody's doing, basically. So basically, it's kind of just all about you. Like, what do you believe in? Like, because basically, you're kind of healing yourself. Even though, yes, you are taking medicine, but me studying medicine for like 20 years, I've been giving out medicine that is not medicine. It's just sugar pills or a cup of